There was no sound yet. Good morning. I was preparing. So first overview, this 50-minute looks like it wants to go to that gap right here that we made. After that, all-time high. I want to see that happen yesterday already, so previous day high is just above us. So no indication for today that we go lower. So no need for shorts at any cost. If we short this, it would be max to this low right here. We have two 15-minute FEGs. I want to long off of those or just that one below. I don't see us go all the way back to data lows or anything today. So for me, upside is the most obvious, of course. So we're very close to previous day high already. Anything that we do come, we did have an opening gap. That's the one that we're now trading in. Actually, it was quite a big one this morning, but we filled it up multiple times already. So this was the gap, opening gap. We came back down. We filled it twice now. So main thought process is that we go up, of course. But if we do go a little bit lower, so these two gaps right here would be the first target right here. Around anything above that, I want to see longs, of course. So for me, if we... Er zat op een kabel of zo dan. So if we fall to those gaps right here, I will take a look if I can take a long off of this to the highs, of course. I'll set orb out on the left side, so maybe that's the reason why I don't. So I'll set orb open on this side of the screen. I'll take my own trades on the right side of this guy. Correct, Emily. So the area what I'm looking for is actually these two here. So these two stacked 15 minutes. So like I said, this will probably go to here. So that would be orb short to actually this gap, so just the ones below here. We still have a 5 minute left. That's also a 15 minute right here on this small area. So I want to see how we act on these levels. But the main idea is still that we go up, of course. Nothing is telling me that we want to go lower. And that's together with an hourly for value gap too, so that would be perfectly actually. We do have a little bit of news today. Nothing to really think about. So 8:45 we have some, and at 9 AHPC, no idea what that is. We do have CPI at 9 too. That's Spanish CPI. We got German CPI. Good morning, by the way, everybody. Lunchtime will do, of course. Got about a 10-point range, so that's very small range. So that's good. Actually, because if we go to the downside, we don't have that much distance. The only thing that actually holds value is the 15 minutes, and any higher time frame can show you indication that the lower time frames are aligned with each other. A lower time frame does not hold any value over a higher time frame, so a 5 and a 1 does not hold any value for a 15. So same as you watch now, that 15 we're actually inside a 15 minutes for value gap right now, so we're actually inside one. So I'm watching how we act on this, because it's just started. I can jump in a trade and say we can long off of this, but I want to see how we react, especially on this first hourly. So an hourly, just came in it. If we did not have that hourly for value gap right here, I would have said let's jump in straight away and just long off it to the top. But now I want to be patient for just a minute and see how the market reacts right here. So this is Asia high, by the way. So in about 10 minutes we will see what the market wants to do on that 15 minutes. Good morning, John. So if you just joined the stream, I was telling that I want to see longs, of course, today again. Nonetheless. So I want to be patient and see what happens when we come to this 15 minute right here. We got about 2 or 3 stacked 15 minutes for value gaps on an hourly for value gap. And that would be actually a great spot to take longs off. So, being patient. So this is what we could see. We have a 5 minute for value gap right here, so I want to see how we react off of it. If we push down to the lower parts, then my analysis was correct right here, so that we would just tap that one and then continue lower to those value gaps right here. So we tapped at 5 minutes, right where I want to see. So we can put our stop actually at our wicks high. We don't need to put it all the way at the tops. So we've got 38 seconds. Let's see how if we get that breach to the downside. So if you're trading orb, you can put your stops right at that wicks high. So there was no breach. Also no close outside actually. So there was no trade yet. Do know that those value gaps are very nearby, right? Keep in mind. So this was the move that I wanted to see actually. See it happen. So you will see that we come right in that 1 hour for value gap. We'll probably go to those 15 minutes too, so I do want to see how we react off of this 1 hour right here. Because or it goes halfway, or it goes, or it stops right there. So that's almost the top of those 15. Now that was a clear read of the market. Immediately off open. Now that is a very nice candle, of course. So once we get that tap, stop should be at the last wick's low. There is a possibility that this one goes straight through to the last gap, so be aware of that. Seriously. About a point. So that's a bridge to the downside for orb. If you're trading against the trend, don't matter. You could take it to Asia low, of course. That would be second target if you're trading orb today. So this was your target. That's a 1.4. It's definitely doable. Well, that was actually very close to our entry. So be patient. We do want that tap, of course. That's the confirmation actually of that rejection, so it's still possible. It's just 2 minutes that we come back down and still tap it. Nonetheless, yes, did take that one. So look, this looks actually almost the same chart like here, so that was the same gaps that we got. And yes, took it. And then Q just left it for 2 points. So let's be patient and see if we do get that tap. That would be the orb play. If you see orb come back halfway, take some contracts off. I do not want to see it come back all the way to that high. So this is the only gap that I want to see it get filled. Anything above it, I don't want to see that happen. Otherwise, that would be just the hourly showing us that is the continuation. You can see here that's the hourly. We just tapped it halfway, so that's a very nice tap, by the way. And we got about 27 minutes left, so if this wants to continue, it will do it here. And that's on both sides, by the way. So we'll definitely get that tap. and this still looks like it wants to go lower, so from here that's about how many points is the stop? That's 11-point stop. I do want to watch how we act here, so there is a possibility that we go to that low, of course, once we start moving to this. Just let you know. That's Asia low, by the way, so it's very close by. So this is that, so I am putting in so this is my trade, what I'm in right now. Stops are at the 24,000 level. I'm with a half hour to start, because I know it can drop a little bit further, so I want to see if I can add an extra contract down here to halfway. So the good thing about retracements or actually continuation movements that they actually happen directly. So if we don't get a strong push out of this, we directly know also that it will continue lower. So that my analysis right here was not correct. So next 6 minutes I should move out of it. So this is why I'm in with a half hour. Just because we got Asia low just below it and still a left open for value gap at a very round number. So I know I trade against orb today, but it can be my stop as well. So this still looks very strong, by the way. Very strong push, very nicely moved. So my wife is in this one, by the way. So that you not know that I don't trade against all of you guys. I'm still trading with you.
Got some questions.
Why didn't put the Zell at the start of the orb? There's a value gap inside. Correctly, Antonio, but we tapped that for value gap immediately before the orb got breached to the downside. So I don't want to put it all the way up if it's not needed. So this one actually got tapped. So my indication is now, is there still one left? Yes, of course. There is one more left right here inside. This is also 5 minutes. And I would say that if this one gets flushed, we don't probably take everything out to the upside. So, because this was already, move was going, and we tapped that 5 minute right here, I didn't want to see us come back up here. So this is why I would reduce it to that wicks high instead of fully down. That's why I put it in right here. First of all, you got a nice 1.5 R. That way, if we get to that low, this would already be one. This would be one where the last for value gap for that 15 minute actually is right here. So if we do not want to continue lower, I would rather see you guys take profit at that 1 R immediately than wanting to hold it further. This is against the major trend because we are trading up still. And that was actually a very nice place to put our stop to, just because of the tapping of the value gap, and we have one just in front of it. So if I see it like this, if we tap that one, we will go to that one too and take everything out. It's a 15, but to be correct, you are actually correct. That stops 100% should be there. I would place it just there. That's my opinion. But if you follow the rules, you are fully correct, Antonio. Anthony. My Wi-Fi stop is at the top. This is how, yeah, I see markets differently than most of you. We got news in 2 minutes, by the way, and it's a CPI, so it's a possibility that we flush a bit lower now. If we saw what yesterday happened on that news, if this wants to repeat it again, yeah, that would probably be immediate you guys TP, so I'll be happy for you. So if we keep falling down, and I was not correct that we could react off of this 1 hour, we will definitely take out Asia low then. So keep aware of that you can maybe move your TP a little bit lower if it's needed. For the ones that are shorting an orb, of course. So 8 seconds to that news. We will see what happens. Looks like nothing. Oh, it was actually the same as they predicted, so that's why that nothing happened. Yeah, that 1 hour is still stalling now at this point, so I want to see how it actually acts. In the next 12 minutes we will definitely know if this one will continue lower, yes or no. Because that's one huge candle now, so we tapped that 1 hour. We did have a very small one at the bottom too, right here. Was not a big one, but it still counts. So if it should hold, yeah, of course, that wicks would be the stop then. But this looks like it wants to push lower at this point. So give it a few more minutes. We got about 12 minutes till open anyway. That's the same one that hourly closes. That will definitely show how this market wants to continue today. It depends on how much liquidity actually London needs to push that market back to that high. If it's okay just with those fair value gaps, we do it right here. If not, we will definitely take out Asia low before we continue. But we'll need those sell side liquidities to buy the market back up. Is it me or is my chart lagging? No. So, for anybody that's in the long with me to the upside, if we get above that wicks, above that high, I'm gonna put my stop right here. Because now, in the next 10 minutes, we should actually move all the way back up. I don't want to see it come back down. I'm not watching chat for a second, watching the chart. I'll read questions or answers in a minute. So if in this 8 minute this candle comes all the way back to the high of this candle here, that would be great to see. That continuation would play out beautiful. Now for the orb people, that would be stop at break even almost, so be careful if that happens. That would indicate that the market still wants to rally up higher. So this is why I said this is against the trend, so we need to watch always how the trend is moving, of course. So if we are so the market goes in waves, so if the bigger wave is going up, if you want to take the short wave down, make sure that you always are know where to take profit faster. You heard me say this multiple times, of course, but nonetheless we still have a 7 minutes in this 1 hour candle, so anything can still happen, so be patient. So yesterday I was 2 hours in stream with not even getting a fair value gap. The only one that we had was a 5 minute. So I don't enter them on the 5 minutes. I only use the higher time frame, so say the hourly, 4 hourly or the 15 minutes. And if we have an hourly and a 15 minutes combined with each other, yeah, I really like those for that continuation play. So now we came actually more than enough out of it, so you can move your stop right to here, so it reduces a bunch. So risk is almost fully reduced now. If the market wants to continue, it should not come back to that low anyways. It should not come back to 24,607. 2406. So I don't like that movement for orb play, by the way. That's back to entry now. I got now, my stop is at 3.5 points, so from a 10 to 3.5, so that's 1/3 that I'm still in and not positive. So I'm taking one contract off here, so no matter if the stop comes back, I'm fully in profit. I was in with a whole bunch of contracts. For the rest, we can still add to this trade onto the upside too. It depends how we react. So let me take that 15-minute back. So here we have now that 15-minute at this high. So if we want to continue, I don't want to see it come back to that low. So this is why I said stops at that low. That's about a 3.5 point stop for me. So my entry is, I believe, 9.75, something like this. That's why I took one contract off also, and because I took one off, if it hits my stop, it's actually the same as a break-even. So I'm not gonna move anything. I'm gonna leave it right there now. If the market wants to continue higher, we can make a beautiful trade. If it's not, it's a very good play, nicely done. We had patience and took an entry, and now let the market do its thing. The only thing that we can do watch is see how it reacts, of course. We got about 4 minutes still open. If you're in with multiple contracts or to the downside, I would take one off right here to be sure, to reduce some in the positive still before, if the market wants to continue higher, it will show its hand in the next 2 minutes. So I want to be conservative for all of you too. So like I said, I would have taken one off just before it entered actually. So anybody that's trading orb, my wife is trading orb, so she's following you guys. I said I wouldn't trade orb for 12 weeks, so I won't. Still not. I try to trade session Silrac every day, and NY session too. You're in my Discord, right? So jump in. It's not on YouTube that I traded. I traded on Discord. So the morning session I'm here on YouTube so that people can find us, and in the afternoon I'm trading it on Discord. That's 20 seconds still open.
Nou, voor mij adding plays is nu eigenlijk kijken op die candles. Hè.
Ja, dat doen. Da had hij er nog zit. Well, that's look, for anybody that's a nice big 5 minutes. So that 15-minute equally came back. The hourly came back. So for me, this looks like an uptrend. Oh, and so you're correct. The market wants to change hands every second at this point, but still, if we watch the bigger time frames, we see that the market still wants to go up. This is just chopped the market here. I just wanted to take or make liquidity, but for the rest, the market still looks very bullish for me. Just have the patience till it actually hits a target that you want to see it hit, and then see it continue. So anybody in that long that was more than 1 hour you got right here, so profit taking is for yourself, people. At least you have to do something. But my target is up here, so I want to see it hit all the way back to that high. But I always take one off at 1.5 something so that I do have some profits. Make sure your stop is definitely that your P&L together with your stop is profit. So you keep your stop in where it is at that wicks low. So right here. But this together, your P&L is up here somewhere, should be the same. So that means that should be still positive. If you count them together, that should be 0 or a bit positive. So I'm still following ORB2, but it looks like the market of London did not actually give us much push down or resistance. So for me it's still the all-time high. Oh, all-time high, that's even above this, so previous day high. So if you're in this long with me, make sure if we hit the high that you can still let it run, because this could be a nice play today. It depends on how we react on the high. So I will take 3 more contracts off right here for myself, and then let the rest run. I will keep my stop then at entry just, but I will not adjust it anymore and see where it hits. So we're now back in the last 5 minutes right here. That gap that was here, so there was a small gap on the 5-minute chart. So this is the last resistance that we got. If we go through this, we will hit that high. If ORB doesn't change hands, I would take 1 more off in the next minute. After this minute and 6 is closed, if it doesn't show any strength to the downside, I would take 1 more off, because this is the last 5-minute value gap right here. And I wanted to see how held value, if that continuation to the downside would play out. So this was our last one. That's why I put my stop where it was. I put it to stop at the screen where it was. So if you were in this trade, that was about, I believe, a 2 hour right here that you made. So take an hour off at least, but you have the profits in the pocket. So we're not always lucky that we actually get a 15-minute immediately when the market starts. Like I said yesterday, how was it? How many? 2 hours approximately that we were online until that actually it never came. So actually here, yesterday afternoon, or was it? Was this afternoon? Yeah, the CPI movements here, that was actually here. I was hoping for a 15-minute fair value gap. We did not. There was a 5-minute right here that we could have played off of it, but I did not. I wanted to be patient and see how it worked. So then afterwards we came up and now we chopped around again. So it needs a lot of liquidity actually to see the market hand out any worse. So I hope I would definitely take one more off. This is gonna hit your stop. This is not coming back down. And then when I say it, it moves down, right? Oh, markets are so funny. Did it actually help? Jesus. Strong resisting there. How you been, Selrak? Been a while since I've seen you. So remember, normally for a continuation play, once we had the retest, the first thing that we do for profit taking is actually the last high of the retracement. So that would be the first profit taking actually, always. So no matter what it happens, so if we see a down movement of a retracement of a break of structure, so we had movement down, so we had a break of structure, we moved back up, so if we come and retest that area, we should always take profits at the first high that came. You can always leave a runner to see how far it goes up, but that's the main idea. Now, if this minute and a half closes below that wick, I'm taking one more contract and profit. So, below this wick. I know there's a 5-minute right here, but I can add on that one. So, so this is why I actually wanted to stop showing orb at a while, because it's not easy for me to explain 2 trades at one time. Because I'm actually talking against myself while I'm actually in long. So this feels kind of strange for myself. I was actually gonna say abnormal, but yeah, that's normal for me. That's a good question. Yeah, I knew that somebody was going to ask that one.
The middle.
Yeah. So, this is why I actually don't want to show 2 trades at one time. So, some of my students that are in here learned the orb strategy. So, this is what most of the students are trading. I am trading along at this point. That was a retracement of a continuation. So I am in longs, and my wife is in the shorts. And that's the best question that you could have had. So yeah, I love it.
I'm at the sea, sunny days, and my short.
So yeah, I fully understand somebody just joined the stream. That this is why actually, this is what I really thought it was gonna happen.
You can do both.
Yeah, no you can't.
You can choose.
Well, that's a good trader. He shows both of them. Yeah, one of them will hit the TP. Yeah, rewatch a few other streams from me. You will see how I trade. Normally there's only one on stream, so I always normally long shorts. Oh, that's a nice one, Glow. Oh, having fun is always the best thing that we can have. So if you were here from the beginning, I said that I was gonna take a long of this. I'll go over it. So there was a 1 hour for value gap right here that we was able to tap. So that was also stacked 15 minutes. I said at the beginning of the stream that I would take a long once we hit that level. The orb is a strict strategy, so that needs the time based. So I was just showing the right side for the students. This is actually what I'm in. So
We can put it on the screen.
so abnormal. Yeah, maybe I just type it. Yeah, and my stop was, by the way, right here at the start. I just reduced it and took one profit off of it. So if you're in the long with me and you did not take any profits yet, at least take one contract off here. Because that was a nice V back up, but it's stalling right at that level where it has actually all the value. So this is actually how good you can see when for value gaps hold any value. The market tends to stop at that point or immediately go to the direction what it was already doing. The reason why is because if this for value gap holds any value right here, that stop should never be breached, and that actually came to what, 1 point of it? Yeah, that was about 1.5 points, something like that. So for anybody still in that long with me, my stops are at that low, so that's at 24,000. 007 is my stop. Oh, that's different on MQ. That's 006 here. Oh no, it's me. It was just above it, above that wick that I put it. Who's exchanger? What you mean? Provat, can you repeat that question?
Who's the exchange?
Cruise exchanger. Let me type that question so I can actually understand it.
And an X.
Wie is de wisselaar? I'm trading in Q. If that is the question. I love somebody that's actually promoting themselves. So I always love to have you on stage with me, my friend. So if you can promote yourself and show me your diary that you have a great analysis on how you can trade, I'd love to have you on my channel. Make sure that you have a diary or a journal at least, so that I can see how good you can trade. If you have, share it in chat. I'll even put it on screen. I love good mentors. I would promote them everywhere. We have way too less of them. So if you have a journal, share it with me. Put the chat or put on screen. You can even pronounce your name, where you are, where you're from, then I'll even promote you. No info? Oh, sad. Shouldn't take long to take your journal out and send it. Something like this. Where you can see how you trade. Always nice to have. So always be aware, people that on chats, if somebody ever asks you to come with them and trade with them and show, and they don't know, and they can't show you anything from a diary or a journal or anything else, please don't follow them. The common trader, if they want to grow, they need a journal. If you don't have a journal, start making one. But shout out for the trade that you gave us. Thank you. If it's a good one, I don't know. I don't trade KNC, USDT. Can I long this coin, Binance? Lock this coin. Yeah, the question was if you had a journal, because you sharing this. I appreciate that you share. The only thing that I want to know is how good you are, because I can't see that by just giving me one signal. This is why I asked, do you have a journal? So you can log your trades and show them to somebody if you want to be a mentor. Make sure that you have one. It helps. I know there are a lot of good traders out there, and anybody that's longing at this point will have profit. I just want to know if you want to short. Would be my ideal thing to do right now in the bull market, to short. Especially after that small retracement from yesterday's CPI. We took out most of it for the liquidity. And we're not on all-time high yet, so I would be a bit patient. On leverage, you don't need leverage. You just need enough liquidity. It's actually the same. It's your stop loss that counts. How much is your stop? So anybody ever want to trade leverage, see it just as the same as a normal trade. So leverage is actually identically the same as trading without. The only thing that changes is actually the amount that your stop is. So if you put your stop at $200, if you put a 50x on it or a 100x on it, it doesn't matter. It's still $200.
Not answering question.
I know MYX. I made it from $2, $1.50 or something like that. It went to 17 this week. I took profit already. But still no journal. It's not easy to have a journal.
Something is testing you. The universe is testing you.
Keep you to your plan. I learned this already. You know, actually, something funny. The good thing about life is, once you experience it once, your brain actually immediately adapts to it. So the first time, it feels sometimes uncomfortable doing something new. But after a while, your brain adapts to it. Actually, after the first time, it adapts to it. And you actually get very, very fast used to it. So that's the same when we were traveling the first time with the van. Always new places, fuck, my mind was going everywhere. Where will we head today? What will we see this time? And after a while, actually, it gets very used to it. We just drove, and we expected always the best that after a while, but the first times, damn, that was not easy. I'll be heading off soon again, so any countries that it's hot right now, I'm up for it. Starting to rain and become colder here in Belgium. Not my thing anymore. I do need somebody that could watch our chickens.
And live in the house?
And live in the house. If you find somebody that wants to live in Belgium for a while, my house is free. Or it's open for anybody that wants to do it. So if you're still in this long, make sure that your stop is definitely at that low. So that you did take a profit. I asked multiple times to take some. If you didn't, it's your own choice, of course. The only thing that I can see it come down now is to that 5 minute right here. and I don't want to see it push through it, so that would be that low is protected. So this is the only thing that I can see it come back to for that continuation. Just because the market has been sideways for a while, we do want to make sure that we stay in profit, of course.
Oh,
Stars?
that's the same like yesterday. The touched one. The touched? Dat was ook zo gebeurd.
Hm. So the max out of this trade at this point was at least the 2 orders you got. Yeah, 2.7, so that was a very beautiful play. So if you ever do this continuation movement, you need to know what the major trend is, of course. You need to know where some liquidity pools are, and if you have taken them, yes or no. So if you have seen us taken those liquidity pools, we have an easier way. But the higher the time frame, the more accurate. So the reason why I wanted to do this is because that was 1 hour right here. Again, there was a 15-minute double stacked. We tapped both of them. There were a few 5 minutes, so we have multiple for value gaps stacked on each other on different time frames. So they do hold a lot of nice value. Still same 4 hour, still looks this looks like a bit chopped, of course. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Whew. That's 20 hours we've been going sideways. So it's you can see it actually build up liquidity right now. So it needs that liquidity. We did take it once to the downside. We came into that 4 hour value gap and we saw it rally off. So right here. And for the rest, if you watch the chart and you read trade into these zones, keep it on the 15 minute. It's the easiest way to read. You can watch the 5 minute now and then if there are for value gaps will be good. Stumble on and continue higher. But keep it always on the 15 minute because the only thing that matters is that 15 minute candle actually. So if you took that long with me, we should at least be up 1 hour. Stops at a break even. So if you don't want to be sitting after the charts, perfectly fine. You can just close the books. Market's a bit stalling probably for ECB rent speaks at 10 o'clock, so I have no idea what this person will say, but the market can maybe take a move off of it. For the rest, not much. Russian interest rates do come out at 12:30. Not sure that it does anything to NQ. Or at 10:30 inflation years expectations, so that can actually do something to the market. If the inflation is high, the markets are bullish. If the inflation is low, the markets tend to be more bearish, because then they want to use that money actually to buy something. So if inflation is high, that means that they're printing out money, and really people that have a lot of money, they don't want to be in cash then. They want to be in an asset that actually makes sure that they keep the money and maybe growth in comparisons of the inflation, of course. So this is actually why we like Bitcoin. It's deflationary. It actually stops after a while producing its coins. An hour and a half in stream, and still being patient. None of the trades actually has played out yet, so neither the orb or the long. The long is 1 hour up and profit, of course. The other one is still being undecided what it wants to do. So here comes that 5 minutes. I want to see how we act off of it. Did we tap? Yeah, we did tap that, right? Oh. Game of life.
Yeah, the game of life and how to play it. Just sit, relax. Close your eyes. Go in the sun.
Ga wat seconden alleen mee. Wil je dat in zien? Wil je dat in zien hoor?
Nee, ik weet niet hoe dat gegaan is. Mama, ja, we hadden wel een stuk genoeg aan voor de seconde. Dat was gisteren ook al, hè? Dat hij hier...
Yes, is a bit less strong today. So I really took out Asia on that first level down.
Ist das deine Tochter?
Hallo. Ist das deine Tochter? Ist das deine Tochter? Nou, welke tas moet ik nu weer nemen? Ja, dat zijn ze dan bij Nederland van Portugal zeker. Nog één? Nee.
Oei, u drinkt er nogal veel uit. Hè. Dat is
Ja,
ook veel te klein voor u.
Ja, klopt, dat is best voor u. Ik weet dat je graag uit dronk. Yeah, we just broke a souvenir of mine. Yeah, I used to make cacao myself, so when I had the company, and we just broke one of our pots that we drink out of. Luckily, there was no cacao yet inside, but it's one that you actually can't fix. It's made out of clay, so it's handmade, so unfixable. And you can maybe type it together with some kind of lime or something, but needs to be heat withstanded. So I know where we have to go. So I said this morning, anybody knows a hot country to go to? We just broke our pots where we actually got into a hot country too. So maybe that was my answer. Easy.
Well, yesterday it was the first, huh? Signal.
Ja, das ist meine Schwester.
So for that up movement, this is actually also the last place I want to see the market come to. So hope you did trim at least. Oh, if you don't know what trimming means, that means taking context off in a positive way. So taking profit, that means. So that will be the stop for the long. If it follows ES at this point, yeah, we definitely go lower. So we did take a nice R off of it, so good trade. We trimmed nicely, and then actually we let it see what it wants to do. Now I want to see if anybody took if this short right here. So gotta put this one at the side for a second. Anybody added to the trade here? who knows the adding? I actually did not want to tell it, but I wanted to be patient and see how you actually would act on this without me telling you. So there was a value gap right here that we tapped.
Nou, deze vind ik niet gemakkelijk hoor. Naar beneden gaan vind ik niet gemakkelijk voor te adden. Ik zie hem niet altijd.
Maar makkelijker als hij erin komt, hè?
Ja,
Ah, maar ja, dan moet je het zo doen. Als je dat ziet.
want nu moet die boven deze zijn dan.
Hij moest toch haat in. Hier. Die neem ik. Die candle. So, I'll log this trade in a moment. So we went in at 8:35 and we got out at 9:40. Oh yeah, wrong time zone. That was 11:35 and 12:40. How much did I take out for it? I took 1.3 out of it. Stopped and I hit yet. Okay, not done yet. I thought that was going to be a stop. That was actually
Ik zie hem nog niet, hè. De adding... Bedoel je dat kapje hier? Huh?
Nou, dat was weer eigenlijk
Oh,
aan een tapping. Because you can add that. Dus in
Maar
de
ik
tap.
zie hem niet. Wat, deze cap. Wat zit een cap?
Hier. Zie je hem nu? Dat is een dienweek en dienst dat erin. We zitten nog 5 minuten. Dat was een adding.
Zo hoog. Ik dacht dat dat korter was. Of het was gewoon de omgekeerde weer.
So I'm still at that long. I was very close to my stop. Now I'm putting it definitely at break even. So I just moved my stop to break even. Just that you know. So anybody in there long, I just put my stop at break even.
is toch speciaal dingen om te doen, hè? Dat is toch niet hard, hè?
Wie?
Ze doen nu 2 dingen. Vorp en...
Yeah, so enkel maar. Emily, you're only taking continuations right now, right? From now on? Instead of taking the orb? Yeah, I thought so. Yeah. Thank you, Sexy. So again, put in your journal start of continuation just before. So if you open your journal, leave one space open. Leave one of these spaces open and make it a color. Just give it a color. Doesn't matter what. Leave one open and then continue further down, so that you actually know when you changed strategy. Nice, thank you, Emily. Good work. Dat is omdat ze een week in de namiddag en een week in de voormiddag wilden doen. En dan kun je dat heel dan niet oké was. So the reason why Emily actually changed strategy is because she only had like 1 week in the morning that she could come and 1 week in the afternoon that she could come. So she wanted the same outcome, that the orb actually presents itself, and that's impossible if you jump week by week. So I mentioned to her that she probably better than just do a continuation movement, because if she wants to jump from week to week, she can never get the results, of course, if you backtest it for a year, that year's result, because she's only there half of the year. So if you trim, Emily, always make sure that you take at least 1 hour's profit. Not sure if that happened to you, but I didn't explain that one yet. So
Hoor ik nu Duolingo, Aliana? Duolingo?
Ja. Maar met verzetten.
Ja, die had waren.
Give me a second, I'll be right back. We hebben al deel 2 ook gedaan, Juliana, wat dat zijn? Van de keuken? Dus als we nu nog iets gaan doen, dat is niet het moment in de keuken heeft. Als je zegt van ja, kijk, we zouden misschien nog kunnen kijken voor wat plankjes of dingetjes of zo, dat is nu het moment. Dat is niet duur.
Maar waar dat je de kaders gaat hangen, je kan misschien al stipjes zetten.
We zijn al aan het kijken.
We gaan er 2 rechten zetten, we gaan er een paar hangen. Maar de meeste wel over wat we gaan doen. Ik ben er al over gewust, hè? Wat we gaan doen? Ja.
Die grote weten we al hangen, zo. Die 3 kleintjes, dan moeten we nog met z'n drieën beslissen.
Die ronde?
Die ronde, dat was die grootste, hè? Wat we doen?
Ja, die hangt dan de verste wand, omdat dat in een stuk past dat er genoeg is. Shit. Tomato sauce.
Dat is geen shit.
Dat is tomato sauce. Kijk op.
En mama, dat je zelfs zei van, dat je er zelfs wel eens meekijken gisteren. Van die dingen.
Ja, dat je dan naar kijkt. Ja, dat is uw ding. Heb je goed geslapen?
Ja.
Ja, voilà. Dan kan je dat wel doen. Het is wel spannend geëindigd, hè, weer.
Ja.
Moet ik niet zien?
Maar ik zeg tegen haar, ik ga hier stoppen, want dan is het zo niet spannend zo voor te gaan slapen. Maar ik kan wel even kijken. Oké. En ik weet dat het al zo stopt, hè.
Ja, dus ja, hij stopt eigenlijk overwege een aflevering. Hè. Hij stopt toch gewoon overwege een aflevering.
Ja, gewoon. En zeker als ik weet dat ik moet gaan slapen.
Ik niet. Ik weet het ook al.
Dat is funny, man.
Waarom moet
Okay,
je
we're
slapen
5
bij
minutes.
school?
So we're 5 minutes before 10. Yeah, perfectly. You did make at least 1 hour off, right, Emily? So if you take profit, make sure that you do take a 1 hour off, because you had at least, I know how much your stop is, so from here to there, that was only 11 points, so that was $22. So I believe you had at least 3 to 4 contracts inside. Have I got it correct?
Zat er al honing in je tas?
Ja. Ik heb er gewoon een beetje erin gedaan, je mengt en heel gedaan.
Je hebt een ander stukje wel toch gevonden, hè?
Ze zijn wel allemaal lang meegegaan, hoor. Die tassen.
Dat is mijn tas, dat ik van opa Limper
Ah ja, die lag
heb. Dus dat is mijn tas dat ik van opa Limper heb gekregen. Dus die wil ik niet zien breken. Ik wil die heel mooi heel blijven. Ik zie hem ook niet verder.
Nou zijn we twee heel verschillend, hè.
Okay, so started with 3, but then you talked about half an hour, so took 1 off, got played. My mind again should have let it be, but just still, yeah. Emily, my half hours are not the same as your hours collection. If you only have like 10-point stop, don't make it a half. The reason why I took a half, because I actually expected us to hit a bit lower, so I did enter more. So I entered at the start, and I entered a bit halfway. So actually, instead of my entry got straight at the start, I actually ended up here, because I added on this part when we then came down. So I entered the full R when we got there, then I let it run. I took one partial off once we got halfway somewhere here. I took a partial off because I saw this candle move. I didn't want to see it come back. I took one off and then I put my stop at PE straight away, or at the same amount that I actually took off, a bit more that I had left. So, and then I wanted to see how we react further up. I took one more off at this high because that was the last value gap that I expected that could make sure that this trade could reverse. So this is why I took one more off right here. And we stalled actually, we kept stalling actually, and now I just let the trade do its thing. I took more off than one contract, of course, but that's out the point. Here I took some profit, let me say it like that. But if you take profits, keep in mind, Emily, to make at least an R of profit. You still have that trade sellout account normally, so make sure that you actually can backtest this too. And Anthony said, so John, so far that the trades pre-warp we reduced, what now? Just wait till we hit TP. Or one of it. Actually, if you come below this, you can add again. So we came into for value gap, we actually came in twice. So we tapped that for value gap. Multiple, so we did this one. So order flow still shows now in the short term that we are still moving a bit low. So what do? We came down, we tapped, we continued lower, we created for value gaps, we came back up, we tapped up for value gap, we're pushing lower. Now we're actually stalling. So here, if this 5 minute should hold any value, we should have been up already. So we're stalling. So it looks like we will take out that low at the first sight, of course, and then go to this and Asia low. Second confirmation of this is actually if you go watch ES, we can see ES is already way further down. So there is also a big correlation between NQ and ES. They actually follow each other in order flow. So if we see this happen and ES goes way further down, there is a big possibility that NQ actually goes and follow. Just that you know. I try not to watch them too much together because it sometimes gives you a wrong idea, because we need to watch the market at the moment itself, of course.
Je zegt dat je weer een gap hebt gezien voor de orp. Ik zie hem weer niet, hè.
So and here's the market actually very undecided where it wants to go, so just be patient right here. So for you, Anthony, if we drop below this wick, you could have added to that position again, still same target. Now it should fall further, should not come back up, of course, but yeah, strange market. So it's been chopping a bit around, so that's why these 4 hours actually stack on each other constantly. That you see 1, 2, 3, 4 hours just going up, down, so not the best conditions to trade continuations in, neither up or down. So if we know that before we start, we actually look where we could take profit. So this was actually the place where you could have added from. So once we hit that low again, you can add to it. So that would be this low, of course. If we get that breach, we can actually add to that trade again. Put your stop then. Yeah, it's still at the same high, so that would be the stop still. There is no new creation off of it that we can see it fall lower. So, but if you need to go to your activity, yeah, just leave the trade like it is, TP or stop. Hope you're doing better. So that was the stop for the longs. this was something that was expected after we came to that 5, we came down and we moved away from it again. So after that tap we do need to have continuation, so this is why I put it at stop PE. So I'm gonna log this trade right now. That's a 1.2. Oh, wrong chart. So only took 1.2 off. Want to see that full hit. So 15 minutes. Value gaps. Took long. I wanted to. So actually it wouldn't matter where I put my stop, so if it kept it here, it'd still be in, you would still be in, but that's all. I believe the market will continue, just because of ES is doing the same. So I'll take this off the screen right here. Good trade. I'm not gonna jump back in it. So nonetheless, if we do see the market now go to the upside, never jump back in a trade, people. So once you took a trade and you decided to go break even instead of your stop, be okay with it. If the market does go to the upside, also be fine with it. It doesn't matter. It's just a trade. Took a profit, let go of it. Now you need to be patient until a new 15-minute creates out of it, and we can do the same thing again. They come and off in a day, so they at least come 5 to 7 times a day. So it's 10 hours and 6 minutes in. I'm actually past the time that I actually trade at this point. So targets are still the same. I still believe that we maybe will even hit Asia low. That would be the most favorable target right now that I can see. So if you added to that trade, I would definitely take a look to take some off at 24,000 level, and then again at Asia low. So this is Asia low right here, 23,992. Because if you watch this hourly, this looks a very different viewpoint. So this looks like it wanted to go lower. So this looks like it still wants all of this liquidity here. If you watch ES. If you watch NASDAQ right now, we can see we have two 1 hour for value gaps just below. So if the market wants to continue right here, oh, I'm not on the right, sorry. So if you watch NASDAQ, we don't have those for value gaps. They stopped all of them, and the 1 hourly. So NY has huge for value gaps. ES has huge for value gaps. And then Q don't have, so this is why the market is stalling here. But if it wants to follow the rest of the market, it definitely will go down. So that would be great to see actually both trades played out. We both took some profit then. That's the most happy thing that I can give. So that would have been almost TP1. So the only valley gap that I see in the downside movements is actually a 4 hour. So all the rest was taken by the news. The only thing that I can still see is this 4 hour. I'll probably set a limit order here for a long off of it. I will share in Discord if I will do this. At this point, no need. I took a nice trade. Happy with it. Gonna be patient a bit for the orb traders, of course. If we can leave a runner all the way down to 23.9, that would be great to see. We stalled here for a while now, so we took out the liquidity once. So if it wants to continue and follow the rest of the market, we will definitely go to that point. Most of the times, if all the markets go down, then Q follows, of course. It's no exception. If we hit TP1, I do want you stops at break even. Moet lui zetten ze, de Game of Life, helemaal lui wat afspelen. Moet hem lui zetten, zeg maar. Dat ik mee kan luisteren. Ze kunnen mobiel hier, nee?
Ja, mag je dat wel?
Te live.
This explains why it is so often darkest before the dawn. A big demonstration is usually preceded by tormenting thoughts. Having made a statement of high spiritual truth, one challenges the old beliefs in the subconscious, and error is exposed to be put out.
So here's our last step. So that was our first target I want to see happen. So if we do push further, here's the place that I want to see it happen.
Before ye call, I shall answer.
Is het ook een nee, nee?
Every good and perfect gift is already man's awaiting
Maar
his
dat hij loopt
recognition.
ook. Dat is echt als een konijntje. Ik vind het wel niet fijn dat ik dat niet gemakkelijk kan zien. Die kant uit. Ik weet niet waarom.
Moet hem draaien, de kaarten?
Je hebt het ook al gezegd, hè? Maar het dan niet nog meer verwarrend zijn.
Maar nee, hij draait aan de kaart. Ja, je
Maar
moet
ik
gewoon weten dat je
het
soort
zo
al long
kunnen
hebt.
zien. Ik moet het zo kunnen zien. Dat gaat wel komen, hè? Ja, of kan je dat niet?
So, like I said, somewhere here would be first TP, right? That was this that wicks actually. So happy that we put BE on the long side because that would have been a stop, of course. I said there was one more for value gap right here. That was able to tap, of course. But at the strength of this second 1 hour candle now, that we can see it came back, it touches again, we will take out that liquidity. Just because of the strength of this candle. And a bit of the rest of the markets too. So, what can I suggest? Once we get under this low right here, what's this thing take? Once we get under the Asia low, put your TP or your stops at that first grab, the 24,000 level.
Kijk wat hij er ook doet nu.
So I want to see us push under Asia low and continue maybe to that low. So that's a very nice play if you can take that all the way to there. There is a possibility that we do this after a huge bump of CPI, a lot of commotion. We did not take that high, but beware, be patient. Once we hit that, my wife just took profit. So that was our tap for her. So here, I want to see it continue. No stalling, no nothing. So you take full profit right here, or you leave one over and let it run to that 4 hour value gap at 23,947. That's the only other target that I can see after such a huge momentum. So now we make actually change in delivery. So hold on 15 minutes. So if you're still here, Emily, this is how we'd actually take shorts now. So now we changed states. So any fair value gap now formed to the downside, we can, if we retest it, we take the same would be to that gap. So this is what I meant after we tapped that low, that we definitely could fall further. So the next 60 seconds I want to see it fall under it, keep under it. And if the market still wants to push, it will do it immediately. Look, that's a huge 5 minutes. So that's a lot of strength when nothing is resisting. So we just tapped the Asia low, look at this. We just dropped another 10 points easily, while we sometimes take hours for 10 points. In London, so nothing shows us here that there is reducing of strength. So if you want to put your TP, I would put it right here at 24,004. So that would be your TP right now. If you took some profits and you didn't take it all, I would put it right here. So that's on a 5 minute high. So the market comes back, you miss from that TP about 4 points. So that's not the world, but it is already in profit. And if the other, so that would be a stop, of course. ATP would be I would say the 50, just above that 4 hour if we hit that low. Because there is nothing here for us to fall to, because every candle was filled up, so there is no liquidity left in it. So there are no contracts left in it because they got filled up, all of them. And this is why this market, once it gets to fall, it will fall through. Nonetheless, I want to see previous day high get taken, so you can see I immediately changed my perspective once we actually see the market change it too. So you need to be aware of this while you're trading, so that you actually can follow that market, what it wants to do. If we drop another 10 points, you can even put your stop at that 23.90 level. But wait for the next 3 minutes to close. So then you had actually full profit. If it comes back, you're still at full profit. And then let go, see if it hits that target. These are those ones that you definitely want to take full advantage of. This will give you most of the profits back what we actually gave to the market. We need those big runs for all traders. So that was explained fully. I wish you all a very great trading session for the rest of the morning. We probably will hit that. It looks like it definitely wants it. Oh, do we have a 15 left? No, no 15s. We have a 5 left in here somewhere. So we are now in a small 5 minutes that we came. So if we have a reaction, it would be here. That's the only thing that I still see.
Sell, he push boy.
Oh.
No, it needs to get over.
Okay, yeah, that can happen, Anthony. Anything can happen, of course. I'm just, yeah. That's not a funny one to make sure. So make sure you stay focused. I know it's not an easy time for you. I'm here with you. So, but I'm also the one that has to say, make sure you stay focused while you're trading, so that you actually press the right one. Don't feel sad. Feel good that you actually took the trade. Everything went fine. You had a whole lot of patience right here when it actually fully came back almost to our stop, and that it actually did go to that TP that we wanted to see. Anybody still in that shorts, put your stop straight at 24,000 right now, 24,991. So you take full advantage of this drop. And if you want to take full TP right here, I would be the same. So that's a 3R that you get with minus a contract or reducing a contract. So that would be at least 1.5, almost 2R right here that you get out of it. So that will be it for me today. Enjoy, you guys. See you back this afternoon and have a great one. No, I have to be patient. My wife's still typing. I'm no longer on the screen. So it doesn't matter if I was long and you guys were short. I took a small long and the full short is now actually fully at presenting what the market wanted to do. Okay, so that's it for me. I'm about 20 minutes over time already. So enjoy. See you back in Y session.